Hey, buddy, this is Michael. All right, so today I have a quote from Osho. I'm not too familiar with Osho, but he was suggested by a viewer in a previous video. And looking at some of his stuff, he definitely has some great quotes. And this one really spoke out to me. This one, Osho once said, "The greatest fear in the world is the opinion of others. The moment you are unafraid of the crowd, you are no longer a sheep, you become a lion. A great roar arises in your heart, the roar of freedom." I mean, that is very nicely well put. It's pretty much saying, don't go with the flow of the crowd. If everyone else jumped off the, bridge, would you do it too? And that's, really goes right along because and it spoke to me because I didn't come from a very positive background. And so I grew up with a lot of kind of insecurities, and so I was kind of a people pleaser, and so I was always trying to make everyone like me, make everyone happy. I was trying to be everyone's friend, and it didn't work out in any way. And actually, I all my insecurities were preyed upon by my supposed friends. So I had a couple people who would, you know, make comments, and I realized a lot of the friendships that I had were actually really manipulative, and some of them were just downright not great people I shouldn't have spent any time with. But I constantly had this, feeling of needing to be loved and also needing to love for my own reasons. And at a certain point in my life, I just kind of got so sick of all the negative input by my supposed friends. I was like, all right, well, you know what? I'm just going to do this. I'm going to just cut you all off. And how I did that was I literally just stopped reaching out to them. And what came after that was a darkness, but also a freedom and liberation. The darkness, the depression part was none of these people reached out to me. Like, I wanted to, be a recluse and not hit anybody up, and I wanted them to be like, hey man, what are you doing this Friday? Or hey, I haven't heard from you in a while. You good? None of that ever happened. In fact, I found out that they essentially replaced me. They started hanging out with another person, actually from the very same name. His name was Mike as well. And they actually had jokes about, oh, we traded one Mike for another. And yeah, I mean, it was supposed to be jokes, but all jokes are based off of a little bit of truth. And that really hurt. So I didn't have anybody, and so, but then again, I also didn't have any negativity in my life either. And that's when I realized that the opinions of others didn't do me any good. It didn't help me as much as I wanted to be their friend. They didn't want to be mine, and then it's just the tragic truth of things. And so shortly after that, I just kind of determined, just go do my thing. I'm just going to do anything that makes me happy. I kept playing music. I kept playing, soccer. I tried to, pursuing my interest in martial arts and surfing and all that stuff. And my life became a lot more wholesome overall, in general. It's because I stopped caring about the opinions of others. I stopped trying to do. I'm like, oh man, hey, what are you doing this Friday? Oh, you're going out to the party? Well, let's go and we'll do, shots, or we'll play some beer pong. And as much as fun as that is, and it can be a rewarding experience, that became kind of their life. Like, their whole thing was they were actually basing all their activities and lives on the opinions of each other, and and the girls that they liked. And so I mean, how many times do you hear oh, hey, what are you guys doing? Oh, I'm just going to go home and read. That's not the popular answer. A lot of people kind of spout off, oh, I'm going to do this, I'm going to because we're all playing some kind of game into the social mind frame, into the social opinions and likes of each other. And we have to be aware of that. And it can be healthy. It can, you should be considerate of the opinions and thoughts of your family members, of the friends that you care for and love. But don't get wrapped in it. Don't become obsessed, almost like I was. Don't make that your identity. Oh, well, what's good about you? Oh, I have all these friends. Well, I mean, what does that do for you in the long run? Like, yeah, you have friends, but do your friends help pay your bills? Do your friends give you that satisfaction of your life? Will you be laying on your deathbed and be like, okay, what was the greatest accomplishment? I had friends. I mean, it doesn't really stack up or add up all that much. So, yeah, this quote really spoke to me, because since then I haven't been happier. I couldn't be happier, really. I'm grateful, because I've made some friends, but we're not attached at the hip like I was with some of my other friends, a long time ago when I was younger. These were, people who are good enough friends and good enough people where I can come together, have some fun with them, and then they go off and do, live their life, and I can go live mine, and we'll get together. That's what friends are. Not having to change and bend to each other's whims to show up at the party or anything. You can just, friends don't have to worry about each other's opinions. So, but I don't want to rant too much about this, because I do have quite a bit of feelings on this, and I just, like I said, don't worry about too much about your friends' opinions, because if they were your friends, they wouldn't have many opinions about you other than the good ones. That's the reason why they're your friends. Sometimes you do need a break to take, just to get away from people, just get away from the opinions of others, and you realize that what makes a truly beautiful garden is that each flower is unique and different. I mean, maybe one day I'll give you guys a tour of my very small garden. I live in a studio apartment, if you couldn't tell, so I don't actually have a garden. It's literally just a bunch of potted plants, but it's beautiful. I like it. My neighbors even complimented me on it. I got some meadow sage. I have some roses. I have 2 roses, potted roses. I have lavender plants. I mean, it's not much at all, but that's kind of what my inspiration is the garden of flowers. Everyone needs to be their own beautiful little, if you're a rose, be a rose. If you're, a sage plant, be a sage plant. Whatever, whatever your thing is. And I just hope that you guys can find happiness within yourself, that you don't need to be told that you're beautiful. You don't need to be told that you're a good person, because if you live honestly and truthfully by your own standards, you would be, a good person, and through that you will be beautiful, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So don't worry about looking like Kim Kardashian, please don't, or Brad Pitt. I don't know. I'm really outdated with celebrities, so. But ultimately, I just hope that you guys don't experience what I did, and that's the whole point of these videos is for me to try and educate anyone through my own experiences, through my own opinions. I mean, yeah, like look at this poor video quality. I just got myself a mic, and I broke the bank just for that, and it's not even a top end mic, so it's, I don't know. That's definitely a ranting video, and I do apologize about that. It's been a very rough week, so I don't know, a little bit more than that. But anyway, Osho once said, "The greatest fear in the world is the opinions of others. And the moment you are unafraid of the crowd, you are no longer a sheep, you become a lion. A great roar arises in your heart, the roar of freedom." So everybody, I want you to go out there and just be as free as you can. Don't worry about it. Go do something fun. I mean, I went surfing the other day, yesterday, and I'm terrible. I know this. I'm a terrible surfer, but I'm not out there to try and impress anybody. I'm just out there to have some fun. Catch some waves, enjoy the sunlight. But best of luck to everybody. Wish you all the best.